Today, we're going to learn about the traditional long division model. Every division problem has three numbers you're dealing with. We will talk about the first two. You will be dealing with the dividend and divisor. The dividend is the number that goes inside of the division box and is always larger than the divisor, which goes on the outside of the division box to the left. The divisor is what's going to be going into or dividing into the dividend. The steps to remember are divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. Often I have students write D, M, S, B, R on the side of their worksheets or paper so they always remember the steps. Now let's go back to our division problem from the beginning. Write D, M, S, B, R on the side so that you remember the steps. Now, how many times can our divisor, 8, go into the dividend starting from left to right? It can't go into 1, but it could go into 12. So, it can go in one time. 8 divides into 12 once, with some left over. So that 1 is now part of the quotient, which is placed above the last digit of the 12. Now, we have completed the first step of dividing. Checkmark, done. For the next step, we're going to take the beginning of our quotient, 1, and multiply that by our divisor, 8.
When we multiply, we get 8, and that number goes below the number we just divided into, 12. Now we are done with the multiplication step and we move on to our next letter, S, which is subtraction. We will now take the answer we just got from multiplication and subtract it from our answer we just divided into, which was 12. So 12 minus 8, and we get 4. Now we completed subtraction, and we are ready to move on to our next step, which is our B, bring it on down. For bring it on down, we take the next number that we have not used in our dividend, in this case 8, and we simply bring it on down to where we subtracted, next to our 4. This gives us a new number, 48, and brings us to our next step, which is repeat. For repeat, we start our process over again, going back up to our D, divide, but now using our new number of 48. So now it's how many times does 8 go into 48, which is 6. So our 6 goes back up to the top on our quotient next to our 1. Now that we've repeated step D, we now are going to move on to our next step, M. We will keep going through all our steps and repeating them until we have our answer. So now that we're on to step M and repeating step M, we will take 6 and multiply it by 8, and we get 48. We place our 48 below our current 48, so we are ready for subtraction. When we subtract, we get 0, and there are no other numbers to bring it on down, so we are complete, and our answer is 16. Now it's your turn to practice. We're going to do 138 divided by 6. I'll put the steps on the side for you, and you can pause the video and work on solving this on your own. Once you have it finished, continue the video to see the answer and the steps. You should have gotten the answer of 23. If you did not, take a moment to look at the steps to figure out which step you might have made a mistake in.